Roman Reigns' planned opponent at WrestleMania 40, Best and Worst of WWE Raw, Finn Balor and Damian Priest lose their titles. Damian Priest, a huge star without the Judgment Day, major mistake by WWE. Gunther leaves WWE. Seth Rollins brutally attacked. Jey Uso's 136-day streak comes to an end on WWE Raw. What did Cody Rhodes do after WWE Raw went off the air? Let's dive right into it. Best and Worst of WWE Raw. The latest edition of Monday Night Raw was the last live episode of the Red brand this year. Keeping the same in mind, the promotion did its best to deliver some great promos and matches. However, along with that, there were also a few hiccups here and there. In this piece, we will look at the best and worst moments from Raw's latest edition. Number 3. Best. The Judgment Day and R-Truth's opening segment on Raw. This week's Monday Night Raw was opened by the Judgment Day, who cut a promo until R-Truth joined them. Overall, this promo by the heel faction was highly entertaining and also necessary. The Judgment Day asserted its dominance and reminded fans why they are the best faction in WWE. However, after the arrival of R-Truth, the segment became fun and was probably the right thing, even the brand is celebrating the holiday season. Also, Truth's inclusion in the segment was the perfect way WWE could set up a match between him and JD McDonough. Furthermore, booking R-Truth to beat McDonough was another great decision by the Stanford-based promotion. Not only will it allow the promotion to continue a segment the crowd likes, but it has also given McDonough something to chase. Number 2. Worst. Becky Lynch and Nia Jax's segment. The segment between Becky Lynch and Nia Jax began with the latter coming out to the ring with a mic. However, just before she could speak, Lynch made her entrance and got inside the ring. Post that, Jax left the squared circle and continued the rest of her promo from outside the ring. The reason why this segment wasn't the greatest is because the promo seemed to be carried by one superstar only, and that is Becky Lynch. Also, somewhere one could argue that the promo was a bit repetitive and did not lead to anything substantial, apart from a small brawl and a singles match on Day 1 2024. Number 2. Best. Gunther versus The Miz. The match between Gunther and The Miz on Raw's latest edition was the second time they faced each other. This match was one of the highlights of the night. Even though Miz could not get the result, he proved why he is one of the best workers in the company. As for Gunther, WWE made the right decision by booking him to retain the title. By doing so, the promotion is projecting the Austrian to be a dominant champion. This could lead to him getting into a major rivalry in the near future, which will also prepare him for a world championship opportunity. After the match, Gunther announced he would be going for a break. This break is again great for the champion given he has been an absolute workhorse throughout 2023. Number 1. Worst. Cody Rhodes and Shinsuke Nakamura's altercation. The altercation between Cody Rhodes and Shinsuke Nakamura wasn't at its best given all that transpired. While usually the duo are involved in great promos and altercations, this time around the segment seemed a little repetitive and also lacked build-up. Apart from that, Nakamura was never allowed to complete his promo, which many people would have wanted to see. Also, towards the end of the altercation, the American Nightmare desired to deliver across Rhodes through the table, but that couldn't happen as security separated the two. This segment could have been better if the promotion had allowed either man to complete what they set out to do. Also, announcing a match between the two would have been a decent move. Number 1. Best. Seth Rollins and Drew McIntyre's promo. The promo between Seth Rollins and Drew McIntyre on Raw was everything one could ask for. While hometown hero Rollins was welcomed with a huge cheer, McIntyre as usual was booed. However, their promo is what set the stage for their upcoming match on Raw Day 1 2024. From both men showing a certain degree of respect for each other, to heel McIntyre getting emotional. The promo contained plenty of emotion. Also, one of the highlights of the promo was the Scottish warrior summarizing the life and difficulties of a pro wrestler. While McIntyre used his own example to convey the message, he also made an example of Rollins and his wife, Becky Lynch. Overall, despite being the heel in the hero's hometown, Drew McIntyre did a wonderful job. Their physical altercation towards the end also added to the excitement of their upcoming match. Finn Balor and Damian Priest lose their titles. Finn Balor and Damian Priest retain the undisputed WWE Tag Team Championship on this week's Monday Night Raw. While the duo could finish the year as champions, their faith could quickly turn as another set of challengers could step up next year. The Judgment Day has had a majorly successful run as the undisputed WWE Tag Team Champions on Raw. After getting over the initial tensions between Damian Priest and Finn Balor, they have continuously retained the titles. This was recently seen on the December 18, 2023 episode of Raw, wherein the champions defeated the Creed brothers. Now that the Judgment Day has defeated the newest duo, it is possible that the Alpha Academy could step up against Damian and Finn next year. Alpha Academy has also been one of the most active tag teams on Raw's roster, and they have also become a fan favorite. The entertaining duo of Chad Gable and Otis added Maxine Dupree with them earlier this year and Akira Tozawa just a few months ago. Despite their comedic characters, they have showcased their skills time and time again. The Alpha Academy duo could bring a fresh look to the undisputed WWE Tag Team titles after it was held by by more serious competitors in recent months. Alpha Academy has also proven itself to be championship material. They have the former Raw Tag Team Champions, and Chad Gable has also proven himself to be a masterclass performer after his stellar performance against Gunther for the Intercontinental Championship. This shows that if the duo become champions, they could also serve as mentors for younger stars they will face, like the Creed brothers. The female members of both groups could also feud with each other as well. Maxine suffered a vicious loss against Rhea Ripley in a singles match on Raw, and this could be enough fuel for Dupree to seek revenge against the Eradicator and even lead to a title match. A couple of the top groups in WWE have struggled with communication and teamwork. The Judgment Day may have gotten over their differences now, but it is still not guaranteed how long that will last. On the other hand, the Bloodline has also experienced some tensions after Jey Uso left. In a previous tweet by Chad Gable, he expressed that while other stables have been falling apart on the main roster, the Alpha Academy continues to be united. He even stated that the group has not even peaked. WWE will kick off the new year with a Day 1 special edition of Raw on January 1, 2024. 4 exciting title matches are expected for the first Monday Night Raw episode of 2024. Seth Rollins will defend his World Heavyweight Championship against Drew McIntyre. Rhea Ripley will defend her Women's World Championship against Ivy Nile. Becky Lynch will go against Nia Jax, and the #1 contenders for the WWE Women's Tag Team Championship will be determined when Natalya and Tegan Nox face Shayna Baszler and Zoe Stark in a title eliminator match. It would be interesting to see what does 2024 bring for the Judgment Day after a challenging 2023. Are you excited about the Day 1 edition of WWE Raw next year? Damian Priest, a huge star without the Judgment Day. Damian Priest and Finn Balor successfully defended their undisputed WWE Tag Team Championship on the latest episode of Raw against the Creed brothers. Despite the win, former WWE head writer Vince Russo was not impressed by the Judgment Day. The heel faction made multiple appearances throughout the show. Besides the title defense, the Judgment Day featured in numerous backstage segments. In the opening match of Raw, JD McDonough shockingly lost to R-Truth in a street fight. Vince Russo felt that all the shenanigans around the group prevented Priest from being taken seriously. The former WWE head writer believed the Money in the Bank holder could be a massive star if not held back by the drama around the group. On the latest episode of Sportskeeda's Legion of Raw, Russo said the following about Priest booking in WWE. By having all this nonsense, what they're really missing is a Damian Priest being a huge star. Damian Priest on his own could be a huge star. He could be right up there in the mix with everybody else, but the fact that he is in this little group, they got their club out, and now they got Rhea Ripley acting like a clown. Oh my god, bro. They're killing him because nobody else in this group matters. After the group's latest triumph, Rhea Ripley is set to defend her Women's World Championship against Ivy Nile on the Day 1 edition of Raw in 2024. It will be interesting to see if the Nightmare can defeat the up-and-coming star. What did you think of Raw this week? Major mistake by WWE. The former WWE head writer Vince Russo feels that R-Truth and Akira Tozawa are playing the same character on Monday Night Raw. This week on Raw, R-Truth walked out to the ring and interrupted the Judgment Day. He insisted that he was still part of the faction. The veteran star proposed a miracle on 34th Street fight against JD McDonough with a stipulation that the loser would leave the faction. While speaking on the latest episode of Sportskeeda Wrestling's Legion of Raw podcast, Russo mentioned that although R-Truth was a great entertainer, he was essentially playing the same character as the 16-time 24/7 champion Akira Tozawa. The former WWE head writer mentioned that it was a miss on the Stanford-based promotion's part to have them both on TV, and the creative team should prefer R-Truth over Tozawa for screen time. You know what the problem is for me? You can't have R-Truth and Tozawa because they're playing the same exact character. You got to pick one bro, and the one should be Truth and not Tozawa. But they're playing basically the same exact character, Vince Russo said. R-Truth defeated JD McDonough this week on WWE Raw, ensuring that the stipulation of loser leaves Judgment Day was enforced. It will be interesting to see how this story plays out in the coming weeks. What do you think of R-Truth's position in the Judgment Day? Gunther leaves WWE. Gunther made an announcement on Raw this week after his match against The Miz, saying that he would be leaving WWE for a while to rest up. He left Ludwig Kaiser and Giovanni Vinci and the Red Brand with instructions about his leave of absence, but it could end up creating real issues by the time he returns to the ring again. Thanks to his loss to Gunther, The Miz will no longer be able to challenge the Intercontinental Champion for the title. However, there's no shortage of opposition to the Ring General. Jey Uso is currently ready to face Ring General for the Intercontinental title after having made his intentions clear before. The match is yet to be confirmed. While Gunther is away, it may result in Kaiser and Vinci bearing the brunt of his absence, with multiple potential contenders looking to send a message. At this time, it's uncertain how long he'll be away, but it's expected that he'll be back in time for the build-up to the Royal Rumble event. In that time, Ivar, Bronson Reed, Ricochet, Gable, Johnny Gargano, Tommaso Ciampa, and others may all look to become the top name in the title picture. With Kaiser and Vinci already entrenched in a feud with DIY, they may be quickly overwhelmed in the next few weeks, especially with Jey Uso already having defeated Kaiser this week. By the time Gunther returns, he may find himself without his allies and facing multiple stars, all wanting a shot at his title. Although the ring general has only been part of the main roster for the past year and a half, he's already cemented his legacy. He won the Intercontinental title on June 10, 2022, defeating Ricochet. Now he has surpassed 555 days with it. Since he's taking time off and leaving WWE for a short while, he could surpass 600 days if he does not defend the title at the Royal Rumble event. He has the longest ever reign ever, far above Honky Tonk Man's 454 days. Seth Rollins brutally attacked. WWE World Heavyweight Champion Seth Rollins confronted his next challenger, Drew McIntyre, on the latest episode of Raw. The rivals exchanged heated words before a brawl broke out between the two. Former Raw head writer Vince Russo has now commented on the segment. Seth Rollins will defend his title against the Scottish Warrior on the Day 1 edition of Raw in 2024. Ahead of the match, the Visionary told his challenger that he was at fault for his recent shortcoming. This led to a hard-hitting brawl between the two, with Rollins initially gaining the upper hand. However, McIntyre bounced back and slammed the champion into the steel steps. On Sportskeeda's Legion of Raw, Vince Russo criticized the World Heavyweight Champion's punches and said he didn't understand how many considered him a great worker. I know I'm always all over Rollins, and this is the reason why, okay. Rollins has him dead in the aisleway, and he's on top of him, and he's punching Drew like he's a 10-year-old girl, bro. That's why when people tell me this guy is such a great worker, bro, how are you a great worker if you don't even know how to throw a realistic punch? How are you a great worker? He said. It will be interesting to see who will walk away with the title when Seth Rollins takes on McIntyre on the Day 1 edition of Raw. Jey Uso's 136-day streak comes to an end on WWE Raw. On this week's episode of WWE Monday Night Raw, Jey Uso's long-running streak finally came to an end. The former Bloodline member collided with Ludwig Kaiser in an impromptu match during the show. He came out to save Kofi Kingston after the latter was attacked by Imperium while handing out Christmas presents to the fans. During the match, Ludwig sent Jey to the mat after hitting him with a shoulder tackle. The multi-time champion hit Kaiser with a series of strikes and went for the running corner hip attack, but he ran into a clothesline line. Kaiser then sent Jey Uso back first into the turnbuckle. Giovanni Vinci, who was at ringside, attacked Jey while the referee wasn't looking. Ludwig Kaiser went for the cover and got a 2 count. After Jey Uso missed an enziguri, Kaiser sent him out of the ring and took him out with an uppercut at ringside. Back in the ring, Jey nailed his opponent with several strikes and followed it up with a kick to the midsection and an enziguri. Jey landed the running corner hip attack and got a 2 count. Later on, Kaiser went for the spiked DDT, but Jey hit him with a super kick. He went for the splash, but Vinci interfered again. Kofi Kingston came back and nailed Vinci with the Trouble in Paradise. Finally, Jey Uso hit Ludwig Kaiser with a spear and a splash off the top rope to win the match. This was Jey's first televised singles win since the August 4th episode of SmackDown. It was also his first singles win since he arrived on Raw. What do you think about Jey finally winning a singles match on Raw? What did Cody Rhodes do after WWE Raw went off the air? Cody Rhodes has been on the top of the WWE Raw roster since returning to the company in 2022. He has also become a fan favorite due to his actions on television, titles defenses, endorsing future stars, and even how he interacted with fans. However, he took the season of giving to a new level. The December 18, 2023 episode of WWE Raw saw Cody Rhodes brawl against Shinsuke Nakamura after the latter raided the American Nightmare Before Christmas backstage. Rhodes gained the upper hand as they reached ringside. Cody sent the King of Strong Style into the announce desk face first and was about to hit him with a cross Rhodes, but officials managed to separate them. However, Cody's actions after the episode were less chaotic. After Raw went off the air, a video from Matt Kemp revealed Cody shared the ring with the Creed brothers and Ivy Nile. The real-life brothers failed against the Judgment Day for the undisputed Tag Team Championship, but they won Rhodes' endorsement. The former AEW star praised all 3 stars and stated the challengers took the champion to their limit. He also said the duo could easily be future champions. Cody said that anything could happen since Raw was already off the air. Fans began to chant CM Punk's name, but Rhodes turned it down by saying that one may not. However, there's a possibility Punk could be present in Des Moines instead. After the fans were dismayed, Rhodes said he felt obligated to do something. After talking with somebody at ringside, Cody makes an outrageous gesture by saying he will give one of the Christmas trees on set to the loudest person in the audience. He picked up the tree from the stage and returned to the ring, wherein he added that Ivy would pick the winner. The stage tree eventually went to a young girl in the audience. Cody's fan interactions have cemented his place as one of the favorites among fans. However, Vince Russo believed recent events have placed him second as a favorite in winning the 2024 Royal Rumble. While on Sportskeeda Wrestling's Writing with Russo, the WWE veteran believed that fans were set to see Cody Rhodes win Royal Rumble. However, their choices were changed when CM Punk returned. Cody will finally settle his differences against Shinsuke during the WWE Holiday Tour on December 26 at Madison Square Garden. They will battle in a Texas bull rope match, a stipulation created by Cody's father, the late great Dusty Rhodes. It would be interesting to see how Cody's new year will occur, especially with the major changes in WWE recently. Roman Reigns' planned opponent at WrestleMania 40. Roman Reigns returned to SmackDown last week after a lengthy hiatus. As a result of his return, we saw a confrontation between him and Randy Orton. The Viper had been taken out by the Bloodline and sidelined for 18 months. Orton made it clear on SmackDown that he is gunning for Reigns' WWE Universal Championship. However, two more names, AJ Styles and LA Knight, won a shot at the Tribal Chief at the Royal Rumble. As per spoilers from the pre-taped episode of the Blue Brand for next week, a match will be announced between Orton, Knight, and Styles to determine the #1 contender for Roman Reigns at Royal Rumble. Fans believe that Royal Rumble will be a pit stop for Roman Reigns as he will face Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania 40. There are rumors that the American Nightmare will finally win the big one at WrestleMania, and there will be a major backlash if Rhodes loses yet again, like he did this year at WrestleMania 39. However, Roman Reigns is just 275 days short of breaking WWE Hall of Famer Hulk Hogan's record, which stands at 1474 days as the world champion. For this to happen, he would have to win at WrestleMania 40, and it would be better if he faced someone other than Cody Rhodes. Randy Orton would be the perfect option as he has a storied history with Reigns as a major name capable of main eventing WrestleMania. The Tribal Chief has held the undisputed WWE Universal Championship for more than 3 years. This is the longest reign in modern WWE. Only 3 men have longer reigns than him in history. They are Bruno Sammartino, Bob Backlund, and Hulk Hogan. While Sammartino's record of 2803 days looks almost impossible to attain, Reigns can displace Hulk Hogan by retaining his title for 275 more days. Cody Rhodes has been riding high on momentum, and another loss at the hands of the Tribal Chief could severely hamper his positioning as the top babyface on Raw. It would be wise to have Reigns face either AJ Styles or LA Knight at Royal Rumble, and then face Randy Orton in an epic clash at WrestleMania, where he could retain his championship, inching forward towards Hogan's record.
I can feel the blood creeping up from the heathens. Got will, got fight, got pride, got reason. If they wanna go eat, then you know I'm gon' feed them. If you're coming for me, hope you're ready for a demon. I got eyes in the back of my head, I'm seeing. Take me for granted.